Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Bird's Nest Designs. My name is Denise Cox, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Trail, British Columbia, Canada. And today is Tuesday, September 12th, 2023. And I am here with today's, but it's also this week's Cards by Mail free class tutorial. So today we are going to be featuring the beautiful Rustic Crate bundle. So this is from the new mini catalog, and I will show you where to find that in your catalog, along with the ordering code and the cost and all those things once we get to the stamping part. So first of all, before we get too far into today's class, please say hello. Let me know you're watching, whether you're watching when this video goes live or if you're watching the replay later. Please say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. I love to see and know where all my stamping friends are from. So a little bit about Cards by Mail. So this class is one I started about a month ago now. Actually, yeah, about a month ago. This is class number 3. And so how it works is when you place an order through my online store using the current host code. So right now, that's this code right here on the screen. If your order is $50 or more before the shipping and taxes is added, and you use this host code, so that's the key right there. You got to add that host code. Then I'm going to send you this free class absolutely free. So you'll get it in the mail. It's going to contain 6 card kits, 2 of each of the cards we're going to make today. It will also include a PDF instruction sheet, which I have right here. It's already done and ready for you guys. So you'll get that emailed to you, so you can print that out to go along, or you can pop back to this video and make the cards along with me on the replay. So it's a really great way to get some cards created, and today's cards are going to cover you for a few occasions. The Rustic Crate bundle is super fun. So if there's any questions about that, please either reach out to me here in the comments, send me a private message. Lots of ways to get a hold of me. You can send me an email to birdsnestdesigns@gmail.com, and I will answer you as soon as possible. Okay, so there's the host code. Jot that down. I will probably leave it on the screen for the majority of today's tutorial, but if it gets in the way, I will remove it. Okay, are we ready to do some stamping? Let me flip the camera down here. Okay, so here are the 3 card kits. So this is exactly how you will receive them, only you will get 2 of each. Okay, so you're going to get to make 2 cards for a total of 6 using the Rustic Crate bundle. So all of the kits will include exactly what you see in mine. So you will be responsible to have your own ink, stamping blends, and stamps and bundle, of course, okay? So I will cut any of the die cuts that we use today that are not in the Rustic Crate bundle, but if they are in that bundle, you will be responsible to cut those, but I will give you all of the cardstock and all of the pieces you need to do that. Okay, so in your catalog, in this beautiful new mini catalog on page 46, right here, this is the Rustic Crate bundle. So item number 162268, and the bundle is $67.50 here in Canada. So if you choose to order that through my online store and add that host code on the screen, I'm going to send you the class kit absolutely free. Now you can order whatever you want. It does not have to be this bundle as long as that host code is on there and the order is placed before September 15th or before or on September 15th. $50 or more, you're going to get this free class, okay? So the beauty of this class is that, 1, it's free, and 2, you can substitute with whatever you have on hand. So if you don't have the Rustic Crate and it's not really your thing, then that's totally okay because you can substitute with something you have. Same with the colors I'm using, the blends I'm using, all of the things are substitutable, so you can use whatever you want, okay? Let me show you the cards we'll create real quick and then we'll get to stamping. So this is a beautiful one for fall. We have a fun and simple Christmas card. And my favorite, we have this Good Things Take Time card, okay? So we're gonna start with the pumpkin one. That will be this one here, the Wild Wheat card base. All of the pieces will be inside. Yours will be just like this. Okay, the only difference is you will have a piece of cardstock in copper clay to cut these out yourself. I've already cut them out just to kind of make it go a little quicker. Okay. All right. So you can remember, you can follow along with your PDF instructions you'll get, or you can come back here and watch this video. So we'll start by folding our wild wheat card base on the score line. I'm just reaching for my bone folder here. We're going to take Mossy Meadow. Now, I'm not going to give you any of the measurements in today's video tutorial. Measurements are all included on the PDF instruction sheet. So when you place your order, you will get all of the measurements along with the step-by-step instructions and a supply list. Okay, so we're going to put that on there. And then we're going to reach for our copper clay ink pad. And we're going to take this beautiful plant stamp right here, which is this guy right here. Don't have enough room on my desk when I do videos. Okay, so then we're going to take this and we're going to stamp it in all four corners. I'm not being any real rhyme or reason. I just want the image in each corner. Okay, isn't that pretty? I'll pop that up close to the camera so you guys can see that. Beautiful. Okay. And we'll go ahead and we'll attach that onto the Mossy Meadow. Now I might go a little quick in this video today, but don't forget that when you go to watch the replay, when you're making your cards in your kit, you have the option to pause, rewind, fast forward, all those things. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take some oxidized paper. This is oxidized copper paper. This is in the mini catalog as well. However, it is currently sold out. So your kit will have it in there, but you may get a slightly different color on yours, but you will have the paper in there, okay? So we're going to take that strip and we're going to attach that across the center of our copper clay. You'll have a very vanilla distress circle. Check that out. These are new in the mini catalog as well. So we're going to take that. We're going to take a little bit of copper clay. Oops, taking pieces here. With a blending brush. I'm going to get the majority of the ink off there, and then I'm just going to come in here and add just a wee bit of color. Like that. I love the blending brushes for that. You can add just a small amount of color really easily. So we're going to go ahead and attach that here. Actually, I have this a little higher than I did on my sample. I'm going to see if I can move this down. I can't be the only one who's like, nope, I don't want it there. Let's try and take that adhesive off. Okay, we're going to move that down a bit. Okay, then we'll go ahead and put this on here. Okay, and I'm going to just sneak a little bit of snail in under here. There we go, real life crafting with Denise. So there we have it all fixed up. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is take our little strip of wild wheat, and we have a piece of very vanilla. We're going to use our Memento ink, and we're going to stamp Blessed Beyond Measure onto this wild wheat piece here. Okay, and then we're going to take the pumpkin image. Okay, we used this one yesterday in yesterday's video tutorial. We're going to take that one. I think I might need to ink that ink pad up again. We're going to stamp that onto our vanilla. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flag the end with my Banner Pick-a-Punch. If you guys don't have this tool, oh my goodness, it is like one of my faves. I love it. So you can check on the back to make sure it's lined up and it's centered properly, so you're going to get a nice even flag. I don't want to chop that much off, so I'm going to actually just like grab it and pull it down a bit. Oops. So you get it lined up and then just sort of pull it down. There we go. Okay, so we've got that. We've got this here. We're going to then cut our die out. So using the Rustic Crate dies. We'll pull the coordinating die. Now I am going to cut it out before I color it, because how awful if for some reason your die slips and you've gone through the effort of coloring it and then all of a sudden it's not cut out properly. I've had that happen one too many times. So now I try to remember to die cut. Oops. Die cut. I've just got it in my little blue machine over here in the corner. Die cut and then color. Relieve some frustration if it slips. Okay, and that one worked perfectly. So that's awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and move some of this stuff. And we're going to color in our pumpkins. So I'm going to use pumpkin pie in kind of the same manner. Oh, so I'm going to use this tip tonight. Same manner we colored that pumpkin yesterday, if you caught yesterday's video. So we're going to start with the dark. Just trace around these lines. And highlight the edges. That's kind of how I like to do it. I know there's like really so many variations of coloring, but this is sort of my go-to. Okay, so just coloring around there. Now the pumpkin, you could make so many colors. So if you don't have pumpkin pie, you could consider Cajun craze, even the copper clay that we used on the paper on the front of the card. That would be nice too. You could use an old retired stamping blend, tangerine tango, drawing a blank. Leave me a comment if you can think of another orange in the Stampin' Up family, past or present, that would work for these pumpkins. So pumpkin pie is what I've chosen. I like how it's nice and bright. Okay, set those ones aside. Now I'll pull in my Daffodil Delight dark. And this one I'm going to do a little different. I'm just going to kind of go around the inner side of the circle. With the odd exception, I'm going to go up the vein of the petal. I don't know if that's really what you call those, veins, maybe? I don't know. Okay, oh, one more over here. We'll make sure we're going to color both the sunflowers. Now, again, if Daffodil Delight's not your jam for these sunflowers, you could make them Gerber daisies, and you could make them any color you wanted. Pink, red, orange. I mean, they come in all the colors. So we'll color it in with the wrong end. I keep opening the wrong end tonight, or this afternoon. So we'll color in this one with the light. And then we'll do the same over here. Trying to keep my hand out of the camera view so you can see what I'm doing here. All right, then we'll take our wild wheat. I told you guys this yesterday if you were watching, and I'm gonna tell you again, this wild wheat is the perfect color for fall. It is just such a wonderful, wonderful autumn color. And I feel like everybody needs to have this in their collection. It is just such a nice color. Okay, so we'll color that in with the light as well. You could reverse the colors too. You could use the wild wheat on the sunflowers and the Daffodil Delight on the corn. Then we'll take Mossy Meadow. Is this Mossy Meadow? That's light. I want dark Mossy Meadow. And we're going to color the leaves on the corn. Okay, and what I'm doing here is I'm just going to add like a strip of dark and then color it in with light. So not really like a tracing because it's such a thin image. Just sort of coloring it there. Okay, so lastly, we're going to color the leaves on the flowers and the pumpkins. And for that, I chose to use Old Olive. It's slightly lighter than the Mossy Meadow, just to give it a little bit of variety. Okay, and then we'll grab the light. And we'll color that in. And then we're going to just finish assembling this card. And I'm going to show you how to make that really adorable, super cute crate. That is the main feature of this Rustic Crate bundle. It is so, so cute. All right, so we've got our pumpkins colored. Let me put it on there so you guys can see that up nice and close. We've got our banner. We'll set that off to the side. This is for the inside of the card. We'll attach that last. Now, when you get your kit, as I mentioned, you're going to have a piece of copper clay cardstock that will be big enough for you to cut all 3 of these dies out. So for this, we need this piece here, the crate wood looking one, and then the handle. Okay, so you're going to cut all 3 of those out of your copper clay. Now when you look at this, you can see that there are score lines on it, so you're going to fold them in. Okay, so you're going to fold these tabs to the inside, like that. And I do recommend a bone folder to kind of make those lay. The flatter they lay, the easier the next step will be. Okay. All right, so then what we want to do is take some adhesive and we're going to put that on those tabs. So I'm going to use my liquid adhesive and just a little bit. Remember, a little bit of this goes a long way. Okay. Then we're going to take the front piece. This is the one with the wood grain in it. Isn't that awesome? We're going to take that and we're going to attach it all over top of these tabs. I'll just give that a few seconds to dry. It only takes a few seconds. And now we have this cute little crate that we can tuck our goodies in. Isn't that sweet? So it's like a little pocket, okay? So the next thing we'll do before we add our pumpkins inside is we're just going to take our handle and add a little tiny bit of glue to each of these ends. And then just tuck this in to the crate. Oops. Okay. So that will go like that. And then we're going to need some dimensionals right here. And we'll take a couple of those and we're going to stick them on the back of the crate. And put the crate down here on the oxidized copper paper, kind of off to the side there. We're going to take and put 1 dimensional at the back of our pumpkin. We just need 1. And then we're going to tuck this in so that the dimensional catches and push that down. How adorable is that? Oh my goodness. Okay, then we'll take our banner, 2 more dimensionals on here. Okay, actually maybe 3. It's a pretty long banner. We don't want to be saggy in the middle. Oops, why won't that one come off? There we go. We'll stick that right down here at the bottom. And I'm going to line it up with the edge of the mossy meadow. Okay, lastly, to finish this card off, I'm going to use some in color dots, the 23, 25 in color dots. You can use, of course, anything you have at home in your collection, but we're going to use these copper clay ones because they match perfectly. Just stick them up like that. And there is one very messy desk, but most importantly, there is our beautiful card number 1. So remember, you're going to get to make 2 of those. So you'll have 1 you can keep, 1 to send, or better yet, 2 to send happy mail. Okay, so we've got those 2 cards. That's card number 1. Now, next card we're going to create is this one here. So for that card, you will need to grab your real red card base. It'll be nicely tucked into an envelope just like this one is. So for this one, oh, I forgot to tuck our inside. So you guys all know, just tuck your inside into the card, glue it in, stamp on it if you want. Don't leave that inside naked. Okay, so here we have our real red card base. Let's go ahead and fold that. Okay, what did you guys think of card number 1? Pretty cool how that crate works, isn't it? I love that one. All right, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of Joy of Christmas Designer Series paper. Again, that's from the new mini catalog. And you can do it either way. I should have done it opposite just because. You can attach it so the music notes in brown are on the front here, or you could show the red checkered. Either one looks really good. I actually had a hard time deciding which way to actually do mine. Okay, so you've got 3 pieces of basic white. We're going to take the medium-sized one, and we're going to use pecan pie. Okay, so again, in the email that went out yesterday, another one will go out tomorrow on Thursday. I had to think about that for a second. On Thursday, you will have a complete supply list of colors and things that I suggest you have to make the cards like I have. Now, I don't suggest you do this, but I am just going to go like that because my desk is getting very messy. Comment and let me know. Do you guys have that happen to you too? Do you get this like massive mess just all of a sudden? All right, so we are going to take this wood grain crate stamp, okay? And we're going to stamp it with pecan pie a little below center on our basic white piece. Now, my dog Lucy is upstairs barking at something, so I'm sorry if you can hear that. They've been a little bit mischievous today. Okay, here is our blending brush. Now I used this on copper clay earlier. I'm just running off, so the majority of that ink is off. And now I'm going to switch it to pecan pie. Again, get that initial bit off. And then I'm going to come in and just give it a little blend of color just over top of the crate like that. Okay, simple, really easy, a little dusting of color. That's all we really want. And there's the remote for my light. I'm going to end up turning that off. Okay, so next, let's finish this piece. So we've got the For You stamp set. This is just a little tiny guy. Love the font that's used on this stamp set. And we're just going to stamp For You in the Memento Black on the bottom right there of that wooden crate. Then we can layer it onto the basic black that you have in your card kit. Get that nice even border on there. I'm going to flip that over. Dimensional backings every which way. Okay. So I'll put 5 dimensionals on the back of that piece. And we'll center this right here on the front of the card. And I'm noticing I have a bunch of copper clay ink on my fingernails from earlier. Okay, so then we're going to take the smaller piece of basic white that was in your kit. Heavens, I can't believe the mess I have on my desk, you guys. This is crazy. All right, so then we'll grab the poinsettia image. Now you could color this differently and make it a non-poinsettia, but that's what we're going to use it for today. We're going to stamp the poinsettia on here. Okay. Now again, I'm going to cut that out before I color it because I don't want to have an error and have to recolor. I do love to color, but I don't like having to recolor because I messed something up. Okay, so we'll just go ahead. I'm just lining this up on my die cutting machine over here, this mini boss as I like to call it. Crank that through. And then for this one, to color with this one, the colors that I have chosen, that worked out perfectly. The colors I've chosen for this one are real red to match our card base. We're going to use a little bit of the light wild wheat, and then we're going to pull in the old olive again. Okay, so I'm going to grab those 3 colors. And first thing I'm going to do is take my wild wheat and just color in the center of the flower. Simple. Then we'll grab some real red. Again, just kind of highlighting along the lines that we've already got in this beautiful stamp set. Okay. Now, I don't know why I traced that one side of that petal. Now I feel like I have to do a few more, so bear with me. I'm not going to do all of them, but I don't want it to be the only one I did. There we go. So we'll do the same over here. One right there we missed. Okay, now let's color that in with our light real red. I had a few comments on yesterday's video. People commenting that they do the coloring opposite. They like to start with the light and then blend in the dark, which is another great technique to use. There's really not one's better than the other, but it's just a personal preference. For me, I do it both ways, but typically this is how I do it. I do the dark first, and then I sort of blend it into the light. Just about done coloring this first flower. Now you can have a lot of fun with this card too. You could color it. You know, you see poinsettias nowadays, all different colors. I believe last year I even had a pink one, because of course I would find a pink one. And they're super pretty. You can even find them. They've got glitter all over them. My goodness. So many options. So feel free to use your creative imagination and, you know, make these cards your own. I'm going to stick with this one, traditional and red, because it matches the card base. But again, that's just my preference. Okay. All right, so there is the flower color. That was a lot of red. Now we'll just quickly color in the leaves. Oh, I missed a couple. You guys probably saw it in the video. You're like, Denise, you missed a couple of those petals. I'm just gonna add them in there with the dark. Okay, now we'll color the leaves. I feel like that, oh no, I was gonna say, I feel like I grabbed the wrong marker, but that's okay. It is actually the dark old olive. Okay, color that in. Remember with blends, the more you go over top of the dark with the light, the more it blends together. So if you don't like that it's a little bit prominent, then just keep blending over it and it'll eventually just blend together. All right, there's our leaves. Our poinsettias are colored. We're going to flip that over. Put a couple of dimensionals on the back. We're going to pop that up on top of this crate. And card number 2 is done, although we should do something on the inside. I can't just leave it with a naked inside again. Can't be 2 cards that I forget to do that on. So for this one, I'm just going to stamp the poinsettias in the corner. I'm not going to color it, although you certainly could. Remember, you can do whatever you like. It's your card. I'm just going to leave those pretty poinsettias there stamped in the side, in the corner. And we'll attach the inside of our card. And there we have it. There is card number 2. So remember, you're going to have 2 cards in your kit. One you can keep, one you can give away, or of course, send them both. That's what I would do. I would send them both. I love sending happy mail. All right. Okay, seriously, I have to do something about this mess. This is out of control. So at least this piece, let's just have this piece clear. I know this is probably a huge distraction for you guys, all this mess over here. Are you guys laughing with me right now? Are you thinking, yeah, my desk looks exactly like that? Or maybe you're like, oh my goodness, how are you functioning? It is quite a mess. Let's line those up nice and neat there. We'll pull in card number 3. This is my favorite. This is my favorite card in this class. I love this card and how it turned out. So for this one, you're going to have an early espresso card in an envelope just like that. Remember, ×2. So we'll go ahead, we'll fold the card base. And we're going to take the piece of inked Botanicals, that's what it's called. This is from the annual catalog. We're going to use the Lost Lagoon side, although you could feel free to flip it over. But I love the Lost Lagoon with the early espresso. So I'm going to stick that right down the center of the card. Okay. Now in your kit, you'll have a piece of this beautiful luster specialty paper in the new in colors. On my sample card here, the first one, I use copper clay. This one, I'm going to use wild wheat. I want to show you that both are going to look awesome. And so you may get one of each in your card kit. Okay, we're just going to pop that, flag that in. I'm going to throw this in here and Do the other end. If you don't have that banner pick a punch, don't sweat it. You can just cut those by hand with your paper snips, okay? So this one, we're going to stick this down here across the card, and it's going to touch end to end, okay? It's all right. Then we'll take, let's go ahead. Actually, no, we're going to want to stamp something pretty on there. Okay, these two we're going to stamp out later. This one here is the stylish shape square. This will be cut and in your kit for you, okay? You can see that, like, hopefully you can see that stitching on the edges. We're going to use early espresso ink on this one. So 3 shades of brown is all the ink pads we used, and the black for today's cards. So we've used early espresso, copper clay, and pecan pie. I'm going to stamp the sentiment in the corner, the bottom right here of our square, and I'm using good things take time. That is such a good reminder. Okay, and then we can go ahead and just set that off to the side. And I'm going to quickly clean this image here, the stamped image, because I don't want to use copper clay again. So I'm just going to clean that. And then I'm going to take the remaining piece of basic white. This is quite the interesting rolling ink pad. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think that might be a first. My ink pad is on top of all my blends. All right, so we're going to stamp those beautiful plants. I'm going to close up that ink. We are done stamping for now. Then, once again, I am going to cut that image out before I color it. So there is a coordinating die for that right here. And you can see how beautifully that lines up. Okay. So remember, if you want to get this free class, all you have to do is place an order from anywhere in Canada through my online store. So you can get to the online store through stampinup.ca. As soon as you enter that host code that's right there on the screen, it's going to automatically make me your demonstrator. So you can double check that. You'll see my picture up in the corner. It'll say shopping with Denise Cox. The host code will be there. If your order is $50 or more before the shipping and taxes, you're going to get this whole class for free. Okay, so I've got that lined up on there. Let's go ahead and wind that through. And the host code, if you're unfamiliar with host codes, it gets entered in the cart. So once you add your items, then you view the cart, it's going to ask you for a host code right there. So you're going to look on the right-hand side and it'll ask you for that. Okay, do you guys see these cute little garden gloves? Oh my goodness. We're going to take the piece of crumb cake that's going to be in your kit. We're going to take those little gloves. And we're going to wind those through here. Set that off to the side. And now we're probably going to need to poke those out. So here it is right in front of me. I take a pick tool. Pop one out and pop the other out. That's what those little circles there are for, you guys. That's to like poke those right through and get that cardstock out. All right. Let's bring this card back in. We'll set that off to the side. We have a wee bit of coloring to do, not as much as we had on the other ones. However, we are going to use some of the same colors. So I am not shading with this one. I am solely using the dark colors. Except for, well, there's one exception. Okay, so I'm just putting this on here so you guys can see the images a bit better. So I'm using wild wheat to color this plant here on the left. And I just think, oh my goodness, this is like, honestly, this is my favorite card I've made in a while. I just think it is so fun and it's so fall, but yet it doesn't have like the typical, you know, fall leaves, fall pumpkins, but I just love it. Okay, I don't know what is going on right now, why I am using this end. I have to switch it. I prefer to use this end when I'm coloring. So we're just gonna switch that out. Color all of these in wild wheat. Do you guys like wild wheat? What do you guys think of that color? I know it's really had some mixed reviews. I had some customers who absolutely were not impressed with it, but I had quite a few who were like loving it. And I'm wondering what the consensus is now that we've used it for a few months, what everybody thinks of that color. Okay, so next we're gonna grab Lost Lagoon Dark again. And good, I got the right end that time. I'm gonna just color all these little tiny petals over here, or leaves, or whatever we're gonna call them. On this plant. I wish I was one of those people who could like look at a plant like this and know what they were called, but I don't. I love plants. I have a lot of them in my house, but don't ask me what any of them are because I would not be able to tell you. I have no idea. The only one I think I know is aloe vera. That one I remember, but the rest I don't know. Okay, so just about done. We got all these little bits to do. And I just thought the Lost Lagoon, oh my goodness. I didn't ever think that it would be a color I would gravitate to with fall, but so far I have been. Oh, one just right there. Did I miss any more? I don't think so. Okay, for the one on the end, I'm gonna use Old Olive Dark. That's Mossy Meadow. Where's my Old Olive? This is Old Olive. Okay, I'm going to color. Well, maybe. I was gonna say mine looks lighter, but maybe it's gonna dry a little lighter. So it takes a bit of time to color all these leaves, but it's so worth it. So worth it. It's so pretty. Isn't it funny how sometimes you can buy a stamp set? I know when I looked at the Rustic Crate one, the stamp image that popped out to me, even before the cute little crate, was the pumpkins, because I'm always drawn to fall pumpkin stamps. But when I got the stamps and started actually playing with it, this is the one that I love the most, this plant image. Okay, so over here now we're going to use some copper clay because this is becoming one of my other favorite fall colors. Do you guys have fall color favorites? I know each time the colors change, when Stampin' Up! Does their color refreshes every so many years, I'm a little sad to see some leave, but it doesn't take long and I forget because they come out with all these beautiful new colors. So if you guys have a favorite, if you have a favorite combination or even just a single favorite color for autumn crafting, leave me a comment. Let me know which one it is. I'm trying to decide as I color right now which one I would say is my favorite. I don't know. So far this year, I could probably say that Wild Wheat is my favorite fall color because it's new and it's fun and I'm having a great time combining it with other colors just to see how it looks. So I would say Wild Wheat currently is my favorite. Ask me next week, it might be different. All right, so we've got that colored. We can probably move the silicone mat. We've got our gloves, let's stick them up there. So I'm gonna take the plant and I am going to stick some dimensionals on the back. You guys love how I just like throw the dimensionals when I'm done. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon here crafting with me and making this fun fall cards. I'm so glad to have company. All right. So there we've got our little plants. Aren't those sweet? Oh my goodness. Okay, now you will need to have some linen thread to complete this class. Well, I shouldn't say, you could leave the linen thread off, but I will not put the linen thread in your class kit. I don't typically include this in my classes because it ends up just getting like all twisted up and knotted up. And so to me, linen thread is a staple in your collection. So I just always assume that people will have it to use. So we're going to stick some on the back of the square here. I'm going to wrap it around 3 times. Flip it over. And stick another piece of tape there. Cut that off with my linen thread, or with my scissors. Cut the linen thread with my scissors. And we will stick some more dimensionals on here. This is like this class. Oh my goodness, you guys. I just love all the cards in this class. I think the stamp set is a really, really fun one. So this can go right over top of our banner, right there on the front of our card. And then we're going to put a dimensional on the back of each of these gloves. And you just have to be a little bit strategic, but it will fit there. Okay. So just like this. And we're going to put one, ooh, not there. We're going to tuck one kind of up under that plant there. And this one will kind of stick over top of the, oh, not over top of the words. Make sure you can still read your words like that. Okay, so I've got those stacked up there in the corner. Isn't that cute? The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a rather long piece of linen thread. I'm going to fold it in half. And then I'm going to tie what I call a double bow. So using a bow, I'm tying a bow with two strings together. What that does is it gives us a nice full thicker bow. Oh, I don't think I got that very even. Let's try that again. All right. This usually goes really easy. I think it's just because I'm on a video now. All right, there we go. Pull that through. So it's no different than tying a single bow. You just have to be mindful that you're catching both. Okay, so we can tweak that a little bit. I don't like to have that loop there, so we're just going to cut that loop off. If you have glue dots, these are perfect for using to attach the little bow. I'm going to stick that off to the side here, to the side of the little gloves. All right, and then let's finish it off by adding a few of the sparkles. So again, I'm going to use the 2325 in color dots because I love them and they match this banner. So I'm going to choose to use, because we used wild wheat there, I'm going to use wild wheat. Oh, didn't work. What is happening? Oh, okay, there we go. That one does not want to come off of there. Okay, one up here in the corner. And there we have card number 3. What a mess. Okay. So there's card number 3. You can see it in two different ways, copper clay and wild wheat. I think they both are beautiful. I think either one works. So that is awesome. I'm going to just stick this inside in. Oh, I left it. Shoot. Well, we can always stamp something inside still. I'm going to grab my early espresso. Now, I want to have this stamped off the bottom. You guys know this trick? I need a little piece of paper from somewhere. This will probably work. Oh yeah, so as long as it covers the brown paper, that's cool. So I'm going to stick that down so it covers the brown, and then I'm just going to stamp this so it's coming off the edge. Right like that. And then this is just keeps it from getting onto our card base. Okay, what a messy desk I have, but we have 3 beautiful cards from the Rustic Crate bundle. So let me just show those all to you. We've got card number 1. You're going to have 2 of those. You've got card number 2, a fun Christmas card. And my favorite, we've got the Good Times Take Time plants and the garden gloves. So those are the 3 cards that you're going to make, 2 of each, when you order $50 or more through my online store using that host code. Now, if you want to check out more about this class and read all the details on how it works and all the things, then you just need to pop on over to my website, which is createwithbirdsnest.ca. There'll be an option right there on the homepage called classes, clubs and classes. Click on that and you'll see all of them, but cards by mail is there. Click on that and it'll tell you all the ins and outs of how this class will work. And don't forget to get that order placed before September 15th at midnight, which is Friday, to get this free class, okay? If you place your order on Saturday, you're going to get next week's class, which I don't even know what that is yet. Okay, so Thank you so much for spending your afternoon with me stamping today. It was wonderful to see you in the comments. I will be watching for the replay comments as well. So please leave me a comment, say hello. I'll be checking in. And yeah, until next time, I will be back Friday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific time. We're going to do something a little different on Friday. We're going to create that gratitude journal that I talked about last week. So if you want to join me for a fun crafting experience, all you're going to need is a notebook. So I just went to the dollar store and grabbed a notebook. I did get a hardcover one. That's just a preference. I like a spiral bound and I like a hardcover. But just grab yourself a notebook, grab some fun fall stamping, coloring, anything you can think of that speaks gratitude and fall, and join me at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And we're going to create a beautiful gratitude journal. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I hope to see you all back on Friday. Any questions about anything you saw today, please reach out. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.